Washington comes into today's game as the best team in the NFL. Undefeated and trying to become the second team in NFL history to register a perfect season. John Madden and I'll be back after this word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
This is CBS.
It's especially different and especially exciting when the Dallas Cowboys come to town to play the Washington Redskins. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden, and all the talk in this town and pretty much around the country is the Redskins and their undefeated record. Can they continue, I guess, is the big question.
And I think they can, and I think a big reason is this guy right here, Joe Gibbs. He always has them motivated. He always gives them a reason they have to win. Today they have to win to clinch a division. He remembers what it is. He says we have to stop Emmitt Smith. We can't let Troy Aikman beat us. But if we win today, we can clinch our division.
That guy standing next to him, Mark Rypien, on a hot streak as the Cowboys will kick off to the Redskins. No surprise that RFK is sold out. It has been for a long, long time. And this rivalry is something special to both teams. Willis. And it's going to be Brian Mitchell at about the 11. And the Cowboys down in a hurry. At the 16, they down to Mark Rypien, the quarterback. In front of him, one of the best offensive lines in all of football. Lachey, McKenzie, Bostic, Slurette, Jacoby, and Ron Middleton. All of them having career years. Ernest Biner, the running back, Art Monk, Ricky Sanders, and Gary Clark, the wide receivers, although they utilize a lot of tight ends. The deep back is Biner. Two tight ends set up. And Biner gets the carry. Left side stopped by Jack Del Rio and Russell Maryland. The Dallas defense has Tony Tolbert, Tony Casillas, Russell Maryland, and Jim Jeffcoat up front. The linebackers, Del Rio in the middle, Norton and Vincent Smith. And in the secondary, Isaac Holt back to start. At the left cornerback, Larry Brown, Horton and Washington, the safety men. Sanders and Clark wide right. Four wide receivers. Biner at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got a couple. Russell Maryland starting to come on.
It's fun to watch this Redskin offense, Pat, in that they always give you what they call a different package. We saw the first down, they had two tight ends in there, two wide receivers. Then on second down, they went four wide receivers. Now on this down, they'll probably come back with three wide receivers and one tight end. Then after they show you that, then they shift, then they motion, so you never know exactly where they're going to be until just before the ball snaps. But watch all this movement on the pre-snap.
3rd and 6 from the 20. Sanders is the man in motion. Ripping it through it. Close to a first down yardage. Stopped by Bill Bates. It is a first down, a gain of 8.
Yeah, if we look at all the packages, regular is two wide receivers, two tight ends, and a running back. Three wide receivers, of course, it would be three wide receivers. That means only one tight end and only one running back. Four wide receivers, like they used on second down, no tight ends, one running back. Heavy, that's when they get down in short yardage and goal line, one wide receiver, three tight ends. Then heavy jumbo is four tight ends.
A lot of packages, as you say.
And a few plays.
Biner moves. Rypien will throw again. A lot of time for Rypien. Incomplete. Art Monk thought he was interfered with. He was the intended receiver, James Washington, the defender.
And Art Monk doesn't complain a lot, but he's going over there talking to the official. And we're going to see, as we see the formation here. You see they get two wide receivers working in package. Now, that's a tough thing if you're man-to-man, but watch the Cowboys. They just zone this as it comes off. You see they come off. Everyone just goes to their zone. Now we stop it right there. Here's where Monk is. That's where the interference occurred right there, and the official let him get away with that one.
2nd and 10. Cowboys showing blitz, and then they do send somebody. This is Piner. Pickup of 2, Del Rio. We had a big game last week, again on the stop.
Well, Del Rio is one of those guys that really enjoys playing football when the other team runs at you. Then when the other team is going to pass, they take Jack Del Rio out. That's a lot like the others. When the Redskins play defense with Matt Millen, he only plays in there on running down.
That's when they don't enjoy football.
They hate it.
That's Monk on the move. Here comes the safety blitz, and they pick it up, and Sanders makes the catch. Hit by Holt. Close to a first down. Looks like it might be a couple of feet short.
Hey, Mark Rippon did a good job of seeing Ray Horton come. It was a weak safety blitz. He saw Horton come. That meant he had to get rid of the ball. Gary Clark also had to see it and shorten up his pattern. The Redskins hope he didn't shorten it up too much, so he didn't lose the first down.
You know, John, as they measure, that's one of the reasons the Redskins are so effective. It's because even if you do blitz, they seem to have the intelligence and the package, the plan to pick it up.
Yeah, and that time they had the plan, but again, Gary Clark had to go a little too short. Rippon had to throw a little too soon because of the safety blitz, and they didn't get the first down.
Kelly Goodburn into punt. Kelvin Martin back deep for the Cowboys, standing at about his 23-yard line. Unbeaten Washington, all kinds of records within their reach if that streak's continued. Cowboys coming after it. Goodburn just got rid of it. Martin hammered out of bounds at about the 37 by A.J. Johnson. 33-yard punt. A net 26 after the 7-yard return. Cowboys nothing, the Redskins nothing. First quarter. Troy Aikman, the Dallas quarterback. In front of him, the offensive line includes Tuine, Gogan, Stepnoski, Hezek, Eric Williams, the rookie at right tackle, Alfredo Roberts in place of Novacek at tight end, Emmitt Smith, the runner, with Darrell Johnson, Alvin Harper, and Michael Irvin, the wide receiver. Irvin goes right, and so does Darrell Green. We'll shadow him most of the day. Got it. Martin Mayhew was the defender. He said they were going to take some shots.
That's right. Troy Aikman says we're going to take some shots, and that means we've got to take some shots downfield, and we're going to go to Martin Mayhew first. And the thing is, that was a good move out there by Alvin Harper. It wasn't just an up. It was an out and up. He ran to the out, and then he ran up. But it has to start off with pretty good pass protection. You see, Aikman had time to pump to the out and then, boom, throw it to the up.
Maybe they're going to have another look. Bob
Completed
McElwee.
catch is ruled on the field. The play is being reviewed.
Let's watch the play. Here's Harper down here. He's going to come up, then he's going to give an out move here, and then go up again. You see, that's a double move. You just don't try and run by the guy. See, you set him up. You see right there, that little out move? You see what Mayhew did? Boom, he took the bite on it. Then Harper was able to get by him and get the step on him. I think what they're reviewing is, at the end, when he hit the ground, did the ball come out? Well, there's too many of this reviews already.
Oh, boy.
That was a heck of a play. I mean, you know, Jimmy Johnson told us last night, he says, we're going to give you some excitement today. He said, I don't know if we can win, but we're going to give you some excitement.
Now, that looks like a catch from any angle.
I think that's a catch, and I think that is excitement. If you got a team that's the best team in football and you're going to go after them, this is a way to go after them. Don't sit around and be conservative.
The defensive unit trying to get the crowd involved. It's been a minute now. I was reading the paper this morning, John. You forget about what this does to the fans. These delays like this.
The play stands.
Play stands. Well, maybe they're trying to get even for last week.
Yeah, the Cowboys last week against the Giants had one of those days that everything that could happen bad did happen.
Harper is to the right, Irvin to the left this time. This is Emmitt Smith hit in the backfield by Fred Stokes and knocked backwards. A loss of a yard. The Washington defense, and they've been remarkable too. Mann, Williams, Johnson, and Stokes. Mann, well, you hear about it. Quality. The others surprises, I think. Wilbur Marshall, Matt Millen, and Andre Collins, the linebackers. Mayhew and Green, the cornerbacks. Edwards and Copeland are the two safety men. Aikman, as the Cowboys are at the 35, two tight ends. Roberts and Awalt for Dallas. Aikman back to throw it. Has some time out to Emmitt Smith. He is cut down by Martin Mayhew right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe he got a yard.
One thing you know that Richie Pettibone is the defensive coordinator of this Washington Redskin. Richie takes something away very strong, and the thing that he's going to take away is he's going to take away Emmitt Smith. That's going to be the first thing. The next thing is Michael Irvin. So I think the Cowboys also know that, although they know that they have to get the ball to Emmitt Smith. So the first big play they go to is to Alvin Harper, and they may have to do that again on third down.
AG has replaced Smith. Three wide receivers for the Cowboys. Kelvin Martin the third, a blitz, and down goes Aikman. Monty Coleman, a loss of 8. That might just take him out of field goal range.
It may take the ball away from him. In the tackle, Monty Coleman also came up with a ball. Dallas sends their field goal team on. Here's a guy, Monty Coleman, that is really, a guy who's been here a long time, and Joe Gibbs says just keeps getting better. I don't know that that's not a fumble. He took the ball away. Watch, Aikman is still up. Watch when number 51 comes in right there. Aikman's up. When they go down, Monty Coleman has the ball.
Speaking of 51s, they're going to try a 51-yard field goal. That won't be any good, and they'll bring it back to the line of scrimmage. And so the Washington defense, somewhat in the shadows, gets out of the dark. RFK Stadium in Washington. 8:35 left to play in the first quarter. No score yet. Redskin ball, 1st and 10 at their own 33. Rippon will throw it on 1st down. Out to Donnie Warren. About 7 right now for an NFL update. Let's send you back to New York and Greg Gumbel.
All right, Pat, at the Metrodome, Barry Sanders goes 17 yards for his NFC-leading 11th touchdown of the year. With the extra point, the Lions are on top of the Vikings 7-0 in the first, Pat.
Lions up. Washington unbeaten. We'll be in Detroit Thanksgiving Day. 2nd and 3 here at RFK. Blitz shown by the Cowboys. Now they come out of it. Hand off is to Ernest Biner. He got 2. It'll be 3rd and 1.
It was interesting, Pat. It was Thanksgiving Day a year ago in Dallas where the Cowboys beat the Redskins down there. And that was kind of a change for the Redskins because Joe Gibbs felt at that game the Cowboys they were running the ball too much. And he felt they had to go, they were throwing the ball too much. He felt they had to go back to the run. They did go back to the run, and they've only lost, since that Thanksgiving Day game, only 1 regular season game since.
That was Ron Middleton helped out of the game on 3rd and 1. He is a very, very big part of that Redskin offense. Rippon, wide open. Donnie Warren. part of the Redskin passing attack, but sometimes they change up on you.
I know it, and you'll just see Warren. He's going to come down here. Now, as they play the zone, he's just going to kind of stagger down here and take this middle. There's always something in the middle. They don't pay attention to the Redskin tight end. Watch Donnie Warren. They all go to the wide receivers. They go all over. And right in the middle, there isn't anyone within 10 yards of Warren. You talk about a guy being ignored. They ignore poor old 85.
The reverse to Monk. He got a yard, perhaps. Benson Smith played it well.
You know, if you look at the Redskins and who they throw to, look, 134 times or 75% to the wide receivers. That's the posse. Those are the guys that catch the ball. 34 and 19. But coming into this game, they'd only thrown 11 balls to the tight end, or 6%. And in this drive, they've thrown 2 passes already.
Remember, they did that last year against the Giants one time.
Against the Giants,
right.
Yeah. Donnie Warren had the biggest day of his career, I think, and he's known as a blocker.
2nd and 9. Blitz coming. Monk is the intended receiver, and Rippon is knocked backwards by Ken Norton. He doesn't get hit very often.
And that's what Dallas wanted to do is maybe not sack him, maybe you're not going to, but knock him down. Put him, after he throws a ball, put him on the ground. Because the word is, or the Cowboys think, that Mark Rippon is susceptible to be shaken up.
We need to pressure him, was what they said continuously. We talked to all the Cowboys last night. Maybe not sack him, but make him aware.
You know, the Redskins don't allow you, because they always keep a tight end and most of the time a back end to block.
Here comes another blitz. Rippon's pass is overthrown, intended for Monk, who's hit by Isaac Holt. That hit wasn't like a guy who's been hurt.
No, and he's still pointing over there to the Redskin bench. I don't know. We know that Ike Holt didn't play last week. And as you're going to see him come in here right at the end and make that hit. And then after the hit, he got up and he started pointing to the Redskin bench.
But look who went down.
That's probably why he was pointing to the Redskin bench and say, ha, you can't even knock him down. Ha, 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 ha.
Goodburn's punt bounces, and they might, maybe. Into the end zone. They'll bring it back to the 20. 40-yard punt. They're nearly down at about the 1-foot line. Up this Thursday in Pontiac, Michigan, as John Madden and I will cover the Bears and Lions for Thanksgiving. Barry Sanders, second leading rusher in the NFC, leads the rejuvenated Lions, while Neil Anderson, ranked 5th, powers the Bears. It's a chance to see 2 of the most exciting performers in the NFL today. The Lions and the Bears this Thursday on CBS. Back at RFK, Emmitt Smith. 2-yard gain left side, stopped by Andre Collins.
You know, one thing Emmitt Smith doesn't want to hear, and luckily he can't hear this and doesn't want to talk about it, is the fact that he's fumbled 3 times in the last 2 games. And as Jimmy Johnson said, he talked to Emmitt Smith about it. He said, once that happens to you, and it's so true, every defender is going to go for the ball. The word's going to be out on you, and you just have to concentrate more on protecting the ball, and you hope that doesn't take away his natural talent.
Aikman back to throw and throws quickly. Pass picked off by Martin Mayhew. Mayhew, touchdown Redskins. Harper was the intended receiver, but one more time, the Redskin defense.
Martin Mayhew is a very improved player. Everyone tries to work away from Darrell Green. Darrell Green takes the best receiver, so they try and go to work on Martin Mayhew. You can do it once. They got him the first time on that out and out, but you're not going to get him on that kind of pattern. He is going to get his share.
the third interception for a touchdown by Washington this year. Officially, it's 31 yards, and here he goes. Redskins lead 7-0 in the first quarter, 4:53 left. Redskins 7, Dallas nothing. First quarter, Lohmiller's kickoff in the direction of right again. It's going to be right. He is cut down and a flag on the play, a 14-yard return. Brandis.
Let's watch the interception again, and watch how Martin Mayhew right here can jump on that thing aggressively. See, once he saw that hook, now here's the reason. Here's Martin Mayhew jumping on it. He has a safety in here behind him. Now, when you're playing that too deep, you can jump on this thing here, because now if the guy goes deep, you got the safety there.
Mayhew puts the Redskins ahead. Penalty on the kickoff return by Dallas, and they move them back to about the 6-yard line.
I tell you, Richie Pettibone has made some good calls thus far. The first time Dallas got in position to go for a field goal, boom, he went to blitz, knocked him out of field goal. Then they're going to work out there, boom, he gives them a double zone, picks off a play.
Emmitt Smith out to about the 14. Stopped by Mayhew after a gain of 7. Kurt Govea. The Giants over Tampa Bay, a 70-yard punt return by Meggett. You know, I was talking to Richie Pettibone just a minute ago before the game down on the field. And I said we were talking, John Madden and I were talking about, you know, you should be a head coach somewhere. And he said, stick around.
I think he probably has something in mind, but I could never figure out, you couldn't figure out why he's been bypassed for so long, because for so long he's been one of the best defensive coordinators or assistant coaches in the National Football League. I think he may be waiting here. I don't know how long Joe Gibbs is going to stay on as head coach.
Well, with a year like he's had this year and as much enjoyment as he seems to be having, I mean, he was looser, you said yesterday, than you'd ever seen him.
Yeah, but it's still 11 years, and I know Joe Gibbs, and I know that, you know what you go through, and I don't know how many years you have in you.
First down, Dallas. 2 carries by Smith, another one by Smith. This one's not much. Collins wrapped him up for no gain. Well, you talk to both of these coaches, both Jimmy Johnson and Joe Gibbs, and one of the things you always ask, we always ask, is what do you think you have to do? And they both said yesterday, we have to run the ball.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you can't do that, and I think that's true in all the National Football League, the defenses are so sophisticated, the offenses cannot become one-dimensional.
Aikman, maybe he fell forward for a yard. Obviously a mix-up in what was going on.
I'll tell you what's going to hurt Aikman today is not having Jay Novacek as tight end there, because he really felt comfortable with him. And he felt that he was kind of his go-to guy there.
3rd and 8. The Dallas Cowboys at their own 20. 3 wide receivers. The lone setback is Emmitt Smith. Aikman, incomplete. Intended for Harper. Mayhew again breaks it up.
You know, the reason everyone goes to Martin Mayhew, it's not that Martin Mayhew is a bad football player, but the other side is Darrell Green, so they're not going at Mayhew as much, Pat, as they're going away from Darrell Green. Very few teams will throw on Darrell Green, who's the best cornerback and the best cover guy in the league.
So they'll give Mayhew a workout, and so far he has certainly risen to the occasion. Saxon back to punt. Fair catch signal for by Brian Mitchell, and the Redskins will take over at their own 27-yard line. A 53-yard punt by Saxon. Pat Summerall with John Madden. We're at RFK Stadium in Washington. The Redskins, the unbeaten Redskins, leading 7-0. And we're just about to end the first quarter. About 2 minutes left.
Tell you, it's tough being undefeated, because you not only have the pressure of trying to win a division and get to the playoffs and the championship and the Super Bowl, but when you're undefeated, that thing is always there. It's kind of like, should we talk about it or should we not talk about it? And the Redskins don't really talk about it, but they kind of giggle about it. You know what I mean?
And they almost have to talk about it because everybody else does.
Yeah, and they do. And even Mark Griffin admitted, he said, we talk about it in our meetings around each other, but we just don't tell anyone publicly we talk about it.
On first down, it's Biner. Biner to about the 33, a good pickup of 6 yards. Stopped by Dixon Edwards.
Yeah, they get in there. If you run to the right side, you get to run behind Big Joe Jacoby, who is kind of rejuvenated in his 11th year, and you run to the left side, you get to run behind Big Jim Lachey, who is probably the best tackle in football. So this is a pretty good go here for a running back.
Ripping on a quick count, gets it outside to Biner. First down, Redskins at about the 40. 7-yard pickup, stopped by Dixon Edwards.
The interesting thing about that throw, Pat, we were talking to Mark Rippon yesterday, and we said, what's the toughest throw to make? And he said the toughest throw to make is the back out in the backfield, like this, out in the flat. The back coming out of the backfield, running into the flat. He said it's easier to throw ins, outs, ups, deeps, anything. He said because you get back and set. That one, and you just saw it there, you never really get set to throw.
And you're looking at the back of the guy's head all the time. This is Biner. Biner through an opening. Stopped finally by Larry Brown, but Biner got 7 more.
The interesting thing, they've always run that counter gap and they pull the guard and tackle. Now what they're doing is they're putting the tight end, Donnie Warren, in the backfield, see, and he becomes a puller and a leader. So it's not always the guard and tackle. See the tight end, 85, is in the backfield. They bring motion this way. Now watch 85, see, come across and lead that counter. It used to be the off tackle. Now it's the tight end.
That's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Redskins 7, the Cowboys 0.